The new Pokemon TCG Pocket set Extradimensional Crisis came out today, which obviously means there's going to be a big shift in the meta. Now this might be controversial, but I think at face value this set is going to shift the meta the most across all sets that have ever been released in TCG Pocket. The Ultra Beast meta is here, so today I'm going to share with you guys an Ultra Beast deck that I've been playing with ever since release. Well, 3 Ultra Beasts to be exact. It's a combination of Celesteela, Nihiligo, however you pronounce it, and Guzzlord EX. These 3 cards complement each other so well with the help of new trainer cards that just came out today. But Guzzlord EX is probably the card that I was the most excited about when I saw the trailer initially, because when I saw it, I thought to myself, wow, that is a hilarious attack name. No, when I first saw it, I thought to myself, for real, this is going to be the Giratina EX stopper, and it definitely is. Giratina EX has been running the meta. Most specifically last season, the top decks were just all different variants of Giratina EX. Obviously you have Giratina Darkrai, and there's various versions of that as well, but also you have Giratina with Greninja and Tapu Lele, as well as Magnezone and Tapu Lele. There's even Giratina EX with Arceus and Crobat for some reason. Giratina EX with any Lunala EX deck. A few seasons ago, Giratina EX Mewtwo EX. And when it releases, probably Giratina EX and Necrozma EX. But for now, we don't have to worry about that because the days of Giratina EX are officially over. So I'm gonna stop yapping now. Let's get into the build of this deck. Okay, so let's get into things. As I said before, we're combining Celesteela, Hold on, how do you say this?
Ultra Wormhole and battled Nihiligo. Battled
Nihiligo. Okay, so you're gonna have 2 Nihiligo. That's how you say it. Guzzlord EX and Celesteela, 2 of each. Now Nihiligo is interesting. Its ability causes your opponent's active Pokemon who is poisoned to take 10 more damage upon checkup. And yes, this ability can stack. So in this deck specifically, you can do upwards 30 damage, but this is quite literally toxic. For 2 energy, its attack does 30 damage as well as poisoning your opponent's Pokemon, which is perfect for its ability. Next up, we have Guzzlord EX, the Giratina stopper, and here's why. Grindcore. For 2 energy, it does 30 damage, but it's basically an attack version of Team Rocket Grunt. Flip a coin until you get tails. For each heads, discard an energy from your opponent's active Pokemon. So whether they have Darkrai EX or Giratina EX in the active position, this attack basically deletes their energy pool. Assuming you can get a heads, of course you can always get unlucky. It's a coin flip. But if you think about it, it's only 2 energy. You're going to be attacking multiple times against these high energy decks. And then its main attack, Tyrannical Hole. 4 energy, 120 damage. Now that's not a crazy main attack, but it's just like a good overall build for Guzzlord EX. It's a basic Pokemon. It has 170 HP. That's the most we've ever seen for a basic Pokemon. It can attack at 2 energy, and I mean, like, you could argue that Grindcore is its main attack. But if your opponent's Pokemon is poisoned, Tyrannical Hole can technically hit anywhere between 140 and 180, depending on how many Nihiligo are on your bench. Now, Celesteela is really there for utility. I think that's how everyone uses Celesteela. It's going to be a core card in all Ultra Beast decks, and it's basically for its ability, not its attack. Once during your turn, you can switch out your active Ultra Beast with one of your benched Ultra Beasts, and that's pretty crazy, especially with Guzzlord EX, who has a retreat cost of 4. Its attack for 3 energy does 100 damage, but you have to flip a coin, and if you get tails, it does nothing, so that's like a high risk. I have used its attack in very niche situations, and it has landed for me, but even if you do get lucky and roll a heads, I mean, 100 damage isn't really that much. So you're mainly just going to want it for its ability. But also, its ability can stack, so if you have 2 Celesteelas, you can use its ability twice, and there are niche situations for that. For example, if one of your Pokemon has a status condition on it, but you want it out there to deal damage, you can use its ability once to get the status condition off of that Pokemon, and then use it again to put it back in the active position. But it's definitely an interesting card. Its ability is super useful, and like I just said, you can get real crafty with it. Moving on to the items, we're running 2 Pokeball. We have 6 basic Pokemon. Do I need to explain? We also have 2 Beast Walls. Now, this is a brand new item card that works in Ultra Beast's favor. There's a condition though, you can only use this card if your opponent doesn't have any points. But during your next turn, all of your Ultra Beasts take 20 less damage. And we're running 2 of those because yes, this card can stack. The next item out here, I feel like this is gonna catch on quick, but we have a Repel. It's basically a Sabrina, but in item form, which is wild. It will only work if your opponent's active Pokemon is a basic Pokemon. I mean, let's face it, in the meta right now, there are so many decks that are running basic only Pokemon, but basically it just forces them to switch their active basic Pokemon. This can come in clutch in a lot of different ways. I mean, of course, we all know about Sabrina, but most specifically, especially for this deck and a lot of other decks out there, this takes care of Oricorio, and it still allows you to use a supporter that turn. So this card is pretty crazy. I feel like it's going to be a staple in like every single deck out there. But yeah, I really do like this card. Now we only have 2 Pokemon tools, and both of them are Poison Barbs. This is just to get your opponent's active Pokemon poisoned, so your Nihilego can deal big passive damage. Moving on to our supporters, we're running 2 Professor's Research. You guys should know by now, Professor's Research is a necessity in any deck. Up next, we're running 1 Cyrus. This deck does have one-shot potential if the stars align, but more often than not, it's going to take a couple of hits to knock out your opponent's Pokemon, so Cyrus comes in clutch for that. We got a Pokemon Center Lady, just to add survivability to your Guzzlord EX. And I mean, if this deck catches on, you're probably gonna want it to avoid getting poisoned. And then we have 2 Lucamines. And this card is insane for any Ultra Beast deck. You can only use it if your opponent at least has 1 point, but choose one of your Ultra Beasts and attach 2 random energy to it from your discard pile. And this will set up your Guzzlord so quickly. There's a lot of crafty ways to play this card, but one thing's for sure, it's going to define the Ultra Beast meta that's out right now. Now, the last card that's going to be in this deck is 1 Guzma. And this card just comes in clutch because Pokemon tools are so prevalent right now in the meta. This card could simply ruin your opponent's day. So yeah, that's the deck. It's absolutely insane. I'm having so much fun with it. And of course, ranked mode isn't out right now, at least at the time of this recording. So if you're watching this and ranked mode is out, check the comments. I want to get this video out as soon as possible. And once ranked comes out, I'm going to be testing it in ranked, and I'm going to leave a pinned comment down below if there's any adjustments that needs to be made. But for now, for the video, we're just going to go into random match. Okay, so we're going first, and this is one of those decks where you don't really want to go first. We're going up against a steel type deck, but we have all of our Pokemon that we want to have in our hands. So that's kind of crazy. Let's send out the Celesteela. Celesteela's a good shield to start the game out with, and then we're just gonna put a Guzzlord on the bench, and we're gonna act like we just pulled the Nihilego when we start the game, because we're going first. We don't really need to play it right now. We just want to make our opponent underestimate our hand. So there's a Celesteela. We don't need 2, at least in this deck. I can see it being useful in like a Buzzwole EX deck. We got a Poison Barb, which is huge, so we're gonna put Nihilego on the bench, and then we're gonna put Poison Barb on our active Celesteela to potentially poison that Skarmory. We're just gonna go ahead and end the turn right there. Ooh, they got a Sabrina. I'll just bring out Guzzlord, I guess. We have Pokemon Center Lady, so we can heal it. Yep, okay. They're gonna deal 20 damage. That's not bad. We got another Nihilego. Oh my goodness. Okay, so we're gonna start building one of those up, and we're going to switch to Celesteela. I'm gonna save the Pokemon Center Lady just in case we need it for the Celesteela or any of our other Pokemon. If they get their Solgaleo EX set up, it won't be able to knock out our Guzzlord EX anyways. It's an absolute tank. So we're just going to go ahead and end the turn right there. And there's the Cosmog. Okay, so they're building up the Cosmog. That kind of tells me that they have a Solgaleo EX in their hand possibly, or a Cosmoem, who knows. But they used a Cyrus for the Guzzlord EX. They really want it out the way. I'm glad I saved the Pokemon Center Lady because we're going to be able to use it to its full potential now. But either way, we're going to send out our fully built up Nihilego. I'm going to save the Poison Barb in case we need it for our Guzzlord EX, but we're gonna Pokemon Center the Guzzlord EX, and we're going to Ultra Thrusters, and we're gonna get this Skarmory poisoned, and it's gonna deal a lot of damage. It's gonna deal what, 30 damage per turn? There it is. That's insane. Okay, so they're gonna retreat now. Ooh, okay, now this Skarmory is gonna deal some good damage. However, I think I have an answer for it. First, let's use the Pokeball to thin our deck a little bit. So we're gonna start building up our benched Guzzlord EX, and we're gonna use Repel here so we don't have to take damage from that Rocky Helmet knocking out our Nihilego. So we either knock out their Cosmog or we knock out their damaged Skarmory. And you know what? I'm gonna put Poison Barb on our damaged Nihilego. That's what I'm gonna do. So here we go. We knock out that Skarmory. They're gonna Giant Cape. Okay. So we're only gonna deal 20 damage per turn with that poison, but that's still pretty good. Send out the Guzzlord EX. And of course, now we get our Beast Walls. That's gonna be like the main downfall of this deck. That's fine. We're going to grind core their Skarmory. Oh, and it's not going to get knocked out. So let's see. Okay, we got heads at least, so we waste some energy for our opponent. Okay, this is going to be closer than I thought. Okay, so the Skarmory knocks itself out from the poison. Oh, we got a Professor's Research. This is not looking great for us. Of course, now we get the Lusamine, and what we're going to do here is we're going to Ultra Thrusters and get our Celesteela out to the active position. We're going to end the turn right there. Oh, they don't have a Solgaleo in their hand. Okay, so yeah, let's Lusamine our healthy Guzzlord. We're just going to thin our hand, use that Pokeball, and then we're going to Ultra Thrusters out to Guzzlord EX. No, I'm going to use the Tyrannical Hole. That's crazy. I'm going to attack with Tyrannical Hole. That was insane. Oh, I'm not getting ads on this video. Okay, so there's the Solgaleo EX. Let's see. Okay, they don't have a Lily or anything. We win. That's a good start. Oh, they quit. Quick quitters. Love them. I mean, that's a good first game. We kind of got lucky at the end there that they didn't have a Lily and they took forever to pull their Solgaleo EX. But with the help of Celesteela, we can really just shift around our active Pokemon, giving our opponent a hard time targeting one. And that's really what won us the game in the end. All right, let's move on to the next game. Hopefully we can get something a little bit closer, something that uses some new decks. Okay, we're going second here. That's good for us. They're running electric. Tapu Koko's kind of insane, but we have so many Pokemon in our hand. That's crazy. Let's send out the Celesteela first. We're going second, so we might as well put the Guzzlord EX on the bench, but I'm not going to put anything else on the bench. There's a Tapu Koko. Oh, and they're running Shinx. This could go good with Luxray. Either way, we're going to use the Pokeball, and here we get a Nihilego. Okay, so that's good. The real question is, who do we set up first? We don't have Poison Barb. I'm gonna say let's go Nihilego, and we're going to use Beast Wall to prevent some damage, so we basically negate its weakness with that, which is pretty nice. But we are still in one-shot territory, assuming we don't get another Beast Wall. That would be great. Oh, Pokemon Center Lady. Hold on. 90, that would be 110. So we're just out of range with Pokemon Center Lady because I kind of want to get some more energy on Guzzlord EX. But either way, we're going to end the turn right there. So they're not going to be able to knock out. Tapu Koko EX is kind of crazy. They Giant Cape. That's honestly fine. We got Guzma in hand. We might even be able to keep our Celesteela alive, actually, with 10 HP. That's wild. But we got a Lusamine. Let's Ultra Thrusters. Let's send out the Nihilego. And then let's go ahead and Guzma. And then they're going to think everything is all good. But it's not, because we have a Lusamine in hand. So I kind of want them to knock out our Nihilego. They knock out our Nihilego. The plan is coming together. I feel like an evil villain right now, but we have Lusamine in hand. We Lusamine, and we are ready to attack with the forbidden move. I'm not gonna say it. I don't want anything to come up from this video, but there we go. There's Oricorio. Okay, yeah, they're bringing out the Oricorio. Beast Wall, of course, when we don't need it. I'm gonna start attaching energy to, you know what? Let's put our other Celesteela. Yeah, we're gonna attach energy to this Celesteela. You see, if they get Luxray and they attack with Oricorio, they can knock out my Guzzlord next turn. So I'm going to use Ultra Thrusters and get Guzzlord EX on the bench just to protect it a little bit. And we got our healthy Celesteela out there. It's kind of scary, but we're gonna just have to see what happens. We're gonna end the turn right there. Okay, they got the Luxio. They do 70. I don't like that. We got another Guzzlord, and this is gonna be a wild play. We're going to attach another energy to the Celesteela. We're going to Ultra Thrusters it. Bring out our healthy Guzzlord EX. You know why? We're going to use Grind Core. It's not gonna be able to deal any damage, but we might be able to remove some energy from this Oricorio. The effects of attacks still apply to Oricorio from your EX Pokemon. So here we go. Can we get ahead? Aww. Okay, we can potentially knock out next turn with our Celesteela. We only need one prize. Let's see what they do. Oh, they brought out the Tapu Koko. That's an interesting play. Bud, that's not a good idea. That is not a good idea. This is what I get for not playing ranked, but let's attach Poison Barb. Why not? We're going to attach energy to a healthy Guzzlord and Tyrannical Hole. Okay. 10 HP left on this Tapu Koko. What is he thinking? Does he have like a Mars maybe? That would be a crazy play. Like he knows what's in my hand. Yeah, there he goes. He retreats. That would be wild if they just whip out the Mars.
Da Vinci?
Guzma. Wait, they can't use Mars. Okay, we win. That was crazy. And again, the Celesteela comes in clutch here because we're just wasting our opponent's time. Look at how one-shot both of our Celesteelas are. Either way, let's just end this. That was annoying. It's always annoying playing against Tapu Koko decks. This meta's crazy. And of course they quit before I can attack. But yeah, we got another win in the books. That was actually a more meta relevant deck. Tapu Koko with Oricorio, and I see it with Pikachu EX. I have seen it with Luxray before. It does go pretty crazy. I guess they just couldn't get their evolutions in. So I'm glad we got that win in. They just completely misplayed. They should have just left the Oricorio out there and left it up to chance with the Celesteela. And we're gonna get into the next game. Okay, so we're going first here. Not ideal, but that's fine. We're going up against Dark. Let's see what they're running.
Hello, motherfucker.
Wooper. I can't. No, I can't hurt a Wooper. Please. Okay, so this is like the all-out poison deck. In a little bit of lore behind my deck, I was thinking about running an all-out poison deck with Nihilego and Clodsire and Graphite, or however you pronounce it. But I figured you can't really put all your eggs in one basket. If you go up against an Arceus EX deck with an all-out special conditions deck, it's not going to end well. It's just like if you build an EX only deck and you run up against Oricorio, you're simply not going to win. And Guzzlord helps out with that. So that's the thought process there. So they're doing some decent damage here. We can Pokemon Center Lady. This is one of those situations where Pokemon Center Lady comes in clutch for us for the special condition. And we're fully healthy now. No, I'm going to build up the Nihilego. I'm going to do that. Oh, I made Wooper Rage quit. You hate to see it. And we're going second. Perfect. Okay, we're running up against Grass. You know, there is a really good Decidueye deck out now with one of the Ultra Beasts. I forget which one it is. Is it Kartana? Let's put Celesteela on the bench. We're going to attach energy to Guzzlord EX, and we might as well Poison Barb it. We're going to Iono. I don't mind that. We had the Lusamine, but I don't mind that at all. I'd rather have a Nihilego. I forgot how to say it already.
Battled Nihilego.
Nihilego. There it is. Okay. Oh, they have the Ultra Beast on the bench. Yeah, Pheromosa. It does 20 damage to your active Pokemon and 20 damage to one of your bench Pokemon. So that's actually pretty crazy. Oh man, they actually did some good damage. But we're going to Pokeball here. Nihilego, there we go. Okay, okay. We can repel, but I don't think we should, because we have the chance of removing an energy here, and I will take that. So let's see. There we go. We remove the energy. Okay, that's enough. Okay, we remove 4 energy, deals 20 damage from its poison thanks to Nihilego, and it's going to be knocked out next turn, assuming it doesn't evolve. Okay, so they're evolving it to Dartrix. They're going to attack with it, though. Oh, Erica. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Okay, so Dartrix would do 100 damage max. I'll be 120. There's a Lusamine for us. 120. We're just out of range with Pokemon Center Lady. That's crazy. I think we're going to have to go for the Grindcore and hope for the best. And here we go. Grindcore. Hopefully we can remove another energy.
Great success.
Oh, let's go. Okay, we actually got lucky. They're not going to be able to attack with Decidueye next turn. That is crazy. I would be so mad if I was my opponent. This is toxic. Oh, they're not even going to attack. I'm going to attach energy to Guzzlord EX. Yeah, I'm going to put this Guzzlord EX on our bench just to thin our hand a little bit in case we get red carded. We're going to Grindcore, just deal some damage, might as well. There's the Lily. Okay, we're not going to be able to knock it out. They're going to attach energy to it. No, they're not. Why would they do that? This is what I get for not playing ranked. This is wild because I'm so used to the flawless play of like Master Ball, where it just really comes down to RNG most of the time. Let's Pokemon Center Lady the Nihilego, so the Decidueye can't knock it out. And we're going to attach energy, and we might as well Poison Barb our healthy Guzzlord EX. And let's go ahead and Tyrannical Hole. Out comes the Decidueye. They're not going to be able to attack with it. Attaching an energy there. Okay, so I'm going to accept the L. They're going to knock out my Guzzlord EX next turn. Let's go ahead and Guzma. Okay, that just helps out a little bit. Why not? And then Tyrannical Hole to put it in one-shot position. And we have our Lucamines ready to go. Hopefully they don't have a Mars or anything like that. I don't see how they can come back from this. Okay, so they have an Erica. They think they're going to get out of this, but they are not. There's the Razor Leaf, and they lose. Okay, they knocked out my Guzzlord. It takes so much effort to knock out a Guzzlord EX. From the jump, you just have 170 HP. You don't even have to evolve into it. That is crazy. There's some one-stage Pokemon that don't even have 170 HP. But here we go. We're going to Lucamine, and we're going to win the game. Got him! Okay. I was expecting that. I would be rage quitting too if I was going up against this deck. Okay, so we're gonna get into one, maybe two more games, but I feel like this deck has been going up against a lot of good variety here. And we're going second. Put the I forget the jellyfish. We're putting the jellyfish on the bench. Okay, so they got Kartana in the active spot. There's a Celesteela thing. So I'm just going to attach energy and end the turn. We got a Pokeball. Okay. I'll take Guzzlord or another jellyfish. I'm just going to call it jellyfish. Okay. Guzzlord EX, that's fine. We have the Lucamine, so that's pretty good. Let's Ultra Thrusters out. Bring in our jelly. Let's go ahead and New Wave and poison it. They retreat. Oh, they're gonna retreat. That's smart. That's actually very smart. They retreat. They use the Celesteela. It's not poisoned anymore. That's a good play. And they're gonna deal 40 damage. They're gonna Erica as well. We got another Pokeball. See if we can get another jellyfish. Yes, we do. Okay. We got a Pokemon Center lady, so we can avoid getting knocked out. And let's start building up this Guzzlord EX. Let's New Wave, poison it again. Yep, there's the retreat play. Ultra Thrusters, they're bringing it back out. Okay, so they don't have a Buzzwole. Let's attach energy to Guzma EX, and we're gonna go ahead and knock it out. 30 damage plus another 30 from the poison. There's the Buzzwole EX. I think since we have so many Lucamine, oh, we have a Repel. We're gonna Repel and get this Buzzwole EX in one-shot territory. Repel goes crazy. So we Repel, Buzzwole EX comes out. I mean, just in case they have a Mars or a red card, we're just gonna keep building up the Guzzlord EX. But here we go. New Wave. We're gonna deal some big damage to this Buzzwole EX. We have a Cyrus in hand. It's gonna be hard for our opponent to come back. They have an Erica. They're still in this. If they don't, I win. I win. Buzzwole EX is probably the most popular deck to come out of this new set. And, you know, granted, Leon did get a little unlucky. But either way, we beat a Buzzwole EX deck. I'll take it. It's a Master Ball tier player. We win the game. Let's see if they quit. As always, but this has been going crazy for us. That was the jellyfish show for sure. Okay, let's do one more for real. Let's send out our jellyfish. And they got Darkrai EX. Okay, they could be running Darkrai Giratina. And if that's the case, that's pretty good for us. Okay, let's double Pokeball here. Let's thin the deck. We got our Celesteela. Can we get our Guzzlord? That would be perfect. No, we have another jellyfish. That's fine. That is fine. Okay, we're going to put both of those on the bench. And let's go ahead and end the turn. Arceus EX. Okay, so this is Crobat, I assume. Another Lucamine. Okay, we're just going to have to build up this jellyfish, cut our losses. We're going to at least put this Darkrai EX in one-shot territory for our Guzzlord EX, wherever it is. Okay, we have Professor's Research. Guzzlord EX. Let's go ahead and New Wave, and we're going to be able to poison it. Let's put it in one-shot territory. Let's see. Let's see what they got for us. There's the rare candy. Okay, so in this case, I'm going to bring out the Celesteela. We're still in this. There's still light at the end of the tunnel. Celesteela is going to be able to tank this hit. Attaching to Crobat. Leaf. That's interesting. Oh, and they have Guzzlord EX in this deck now. That's crazy. I think let's sacrifice the Celesteela because we're going to be able to knock out the Crobat next turn. They're going to be able to do a lot of damage. They're going to be able to do 130 to our Guzzlord EX. So I'm going to keep the Celesteela out there. We're going to just attach energy to our Guzzlord EX and end the turn. Okay, yeah, they're going for damage on the Celesteela, so they're probably going to knock it it out. Okay, so they're gonna retreat now. Bring out the Arceus EX. Okay, we have Poison Barb. That helps us out. Let's go ahead and Ultra Thrusters. Let's bring out the Guzzlord EX and we get Cyrus here. That is what we're gonna do, and we're gonna knock out that Darkrai EX. They can grindcore us with their Guzzlord EX, and if they land heads, that could be bad for us, but again, we have Lusamine, so retreat to Guzzlord EX. Okay, let's see. So they're gonna deal 30 damage. We'll be at 110, and hopefully we don't lose any energy. This is an interesting Arceus EX deck, though. Okay, there's the Grindcore. Okay, they didn't get any energy off of us. Their Guzzlord EX is poison now. And let's attach energy to our Jellyfish. We might as well Pokemon Center Lady, our Guzzlord EX. They still have a lot of deck left. I don't know if they would commit that much of their deck to Lusamine for just their Guzzlord EX. Feels kind of like an afterthought. I'm gonna Tyrannical Hole because they're more likely to have an Illima than a Lusamine. If they have Lusamine, it's over for me. I mean, they could have a Leaf maybe. That could do something. Oh yeah, there's Leaf. Bringing out the Arceus EX. We still have this Repel, but I don't know. I think I'm gonna wait until next turn to use it. I don't think they're gonna be able to knock us out. We got a healthy Guzzlord EX. Oh, we can't Lusamine because we don't have any energy in our discard pile. They can do 100 damage with that Crobat next turn. I will retreat to Guzzlord EX, and we get to use Lusamine now because we have energy in our discard pile. That's a crazy play. And let's do Grindcore for 30. And they don't have a Cyrus because if they did, they would have used it right there so they could knock out this Guzzlord. This is crazy right now. Oh, they Illimud. Oh no. We can use Celesteela and bring out our Jellyfish. This is a crazy match. Okay, they attach energy to the Darkrai EX. What I'm seeing is they don't have a Cyrus. So we got another Poison Barb. I'm gonna put that on our Jellyfish. Let's use Ultra Thrusters now. Bring out our Jellyfish friend, attach an energy to it, and we're gonna New Wave. Hopefully they don't get a Cyrus. They can knock out this Jellyfish and we'll be fine. This is a crazy match. They're gonna have to bring out the Arceus. That's their last ditch effort. But we have Repel for that and we will win with the Repel. So we're gonna be able to attach an energy to our Guzzlord EX now. We're gonna use Ultra Thrusters. Bring out the Guzzlord EX. Their bench is in one-shot position. We're gonna Repel and they're probably gonna quit. But that was a crazy match to end on. Yup, there it is. Wow. Backs against the wall. This deck is just so clutch. Guzzlord is an absolute tank. Being able to move around like that with Celesteela is just perfect. That was the perfect match to end on in my book. But that's going to do it for this video. I hope this deck is successful for you guys as well. And again, during ranked mode, be sure to check out the comment section. I'm going to pin my comment to just give you an update on how it holds up. And as always, if you enjoyed this content, make sure you like, subscribe, and I'll see you next time.